In the farthest corner of a forgotten land, beyond where even the oldest maps dared to draw their last crooked lines, there stood a poor village called Omoochi. It was a place where hope came to die quietly. The houses were built from cracked mud, the roofs patched with rusted zinc, and the people lived with hunger sitting permanently in their eyes. Even the air felt heavy, as if sorrow itself had taken root there and refused to leave. In that village lived a boy named Ifeanyi. He had no parents, no siblings, no one to call his own. Hunger was his closest friend, and loneliness his only companion. He slept in an abandoned hut at the edge of the village, where the wind whistled through broken walls and whispered secrets no child should hear. Every day, Ifeanyi would wander from house to house, begging for small work, fetching water, sweeping compounds, running errands, just to earn enough to survive. Most days, all he could afford was a small bowl of gari mixed with cold water. That was all he had in the world. And yet, despite the bitterness of his life, Ifeanyi carried something rare inside him, a soft heart that refused to become hard. No matter how cruel the world treated him. One evening, as the sun bled red across the sky and shadows stretched like long fingers across the village square, Ifeanyi sat alone on a broken wooden bench. In his trembling hands was his only meal for the day, a small bowl of gari, thinly mixed with water. He was already dizzy from hunger. His stomach growled like an angry animal. Just as he lifted the bowl to his lips, a smell entered the air. It was the smell of rot, of death. Slow footsteps dragged across the dusty ground. When Ifeanyi looked up, he froze. Standing before him was a beggar unlike any he had ever seen. The man's clothes were torn into rags, soaked in something dark that looked like dried blood. His skin was gray, his eyes sunken and glowing faintly like dying embers. His teeth were black and jagged, and his smell? It was unbearable, like a corpse that had refused to stay buried. The villagers noticed him too. Women screamed, children ran, men grabbed sticks and stones. "Chase him away!" Someone shouted. "That thing is not human." The beggar slowly raised his trembling hands. "Please, I am hungry." But fear ruled the village. Stones flew through the air. Sticks struck his body. He fell to his knees, coughing blood. "Go away, demon!" they yelled, but the beggar did not move. He only crawled closer to where Ifeanyi sat. The boy felt his heart pound. Every instinct told him to run, to join the others in fear. But when he looked into the beggar's eyes, he did not see a monster. He saw pain. He saw suffering. He saw a soul that had been broken too many times. Slowly, Ifeanyi stood up. His hands shook as he held out his small bowl of gari. "Please, take this," he said softly. The village went silent. "What are you doing?" Someone screamed. "That thing will curse you." But Ifeanyi ignored them. The beggar stared at the bowl as if he had never seen food before. Tears streamed down his filthy face as he took it with trembling fingers and began to eat like a starving animal. When he finished, he looked up at Ifeanyi, and then he smiled. That smile was not human. It was wide, too wide. His eyes glowed bright red for a brief moment. "Your kindness will not go unpaid," the beggar whispered in a voice that echoed like many voices speaking at once. Then, as suddenly as he appeared, the beggar vanished into thin air, leaving behind nothing but a cold wind and a deep, terrifying silence. That night, Ifeanyi could not sleep. His hut felt different. The walls seemed to breathe. The shadows moved even when there was no light. Then, he fell into a deep, unnatural sleep that he found himself standing at the edge of a vast river. The water was not blue. It was gold. The river shimmered with glowing light, and in its depths were gemstones, coins, and treasures beyond imagination. A voice spoke from the sky. "In the place where blood has been spilled and bones have been buried, you shall find what will change your fate." When Ifeanyi woke up, sweat covered his body. He knew the dream was not ordinary. The next morning, he followed the vision. He walked deep into the forest, beyond where villagers dared to go. At an ancient, abandoned battlefield, he found a stone glowing beneath the soil. When he touched it, the ground shook. It was a rare gemstone, one that could buy kingdoms. But someone was watching. A man named Obina. Obina was one of the richest men in the village. He was greedy, cruel, and jealous. He had seen everything. That was where betrayal began. From that day on, darkness followed Ifeanyi's steps. Obinna would not allow a poor orphan to become powerful, and the beggar was not done yet. What followed would turn blood into gold, love into hatred, and kindness into the most dangerous thing of all, and the price Ifeanyi would pay was far greater than anyone could imagine. Obinna followed Ifeanyi from the shadows as the boy carried the glowing stone wrapped in old cloth. The forest seemed to grow darker with every step, as if the trees themselves were leaning closer to listen. Leaves crunched softly under Obinna's feet, but Ifeanyi was too lost in thought to notice. His heart was racing, not with greed, but with fear. He could feel something ancient moving around him, something that had not finished its business. When Ifeanyi reached his hut, he hid the stone beneath the broken floorboards. That night, strange dreams returned.